Hey guys, MBB here. Today I've got a pretty interesting take on a popular deck. This is going to be Eldlich featuring Monster Gate and Reasoning. So, yeah, obviously Monster Gate and Reasoning. You used to like mill a lot of cards, right? And this is like, I feel the perfect chance for Monster Gate and Reasoning to shine because this deck only plays 3 monsters. So Monster Gate and Reasoning are going to be able to mill like maybe like 15, 20 cards at a time, which is pretty insane. And you play a lot of spell traps in this deck that have graveyard effects, so you can get lots of advantage off of your Monster Gate and Reasoning, kind of like a Foolish Burial Gets on steroids. I think that's a pretty good way to think about it. The only main downside is that you can't play stuff like the Invoked Engine or like a lot of hand traps, but I mean, it may not be optimal, but it's very fun to play around with. So we obviously got the 3 Eldlich. Um, Pretty cool card. The 3 Monster Gate, so you use this to just tribute your Eldlich. You have a lot of ways to access it. You have like 9 other ways in the deck about to just get access to your Eldlich, right? So Monster Gate at first glance might seem a little inconsistent with only 3 monsters, but you know, it's usually live. We've also got the 1 Reasoning. Um, Sadly, this card is at 1. If it was at 3, that would be like so much better for this deck. But I mean, whatever. I'll take what I can get. 3 Pot of Extravagance, great draw power for the deck. We don't really need our extra deck too much, so Pot of Extravagance is perfect. 3 Cursed Eldland, get access to all your cards. 3 Elixir of Black Awakening, starting off the Elixirs, so this just gets you access to your Eldlich straight from your deck, so that's like really good, obviously. And then all of the elixirs share a graveyard effect where you can just banish it from the graveyard to set a golden land spell trap directly from your deck. So 2 Elixir of White Destiny. This is easily the worst elixir since it special summons Eldlich from the hand or graveyard and not the deck, but it's still useful for that graveyard effect, and you know, the first effect can come up, you know. 3 Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. So even though that's a trap card, this card is actually very good. It just brings out Eldritch straight from the deck. And then it has that same graveyard effect as all of them, getting a golden land card. And then for the golden lands, we've got 3 Conquistador. So this is a trap monster. Zombie light level 5. All of those attributes are very important. And then when you summon it, if you control Eldlich, you get to destroy a face-up card on the field, which is pretty insane. It doesn't even target. And then the shared effect between the Golden Land trap monsters is that during the end phase, you can banish it from your graveyard to set an Eldlixir straight from your deck. So it's kind of like this ongoing cycle of just gaining free advantage. So that's pretty insane. So now you can start to see why Monster Gate and Reasoning are so good, because they just mill all of your elixirs and golden land spell traps to just allow you to activate their graveyard effects. Then we've got Huakero of the Golden Land, also a trap monster, zombie light level 5, so you can make some cool level 5 Xyz plays with these. So when you special summon Huakero, if you control Eldlich, you get to essentially get Deity Crow effect, banish a card from either graveyard. And then, of course, during the end phase, banish it, set an Elixir. Last, Guardian of the Golden Land. So this is by far the worst trap monster in the deck. It's a level 8, so no Xyz plays. But when you special summon, if you control Eldlich, you can make the attack of a face-up monster on the field become 0. So at least it's like somewhat useful, but it's not very good. The main reason you play it is just because it's another name, has that same end phase effect. Next, 2 copies of Golden Land Forever. It's kind of like an Infernity barrier for the deck, which is pretty good. The main reason to run 2 in this deck is because you have Monster Gate Reasoning and you don't really want to mill this card. So it's kind of like playing extra copies of cards for Pod Desires. You just want to have access to this card, so you'd rather not mill all of your copies. Then for some more generic traps, 2 Infinite Impermanence. It's like the only hand trap that you can actually play in this deck because it's not a monster. But still really good. It's even good going first, just as a normal trap. 2 Lost Wind. This is kind of more of an experimental card, but it has a graveyard effect, right? So if you mill it off of your Reasoning or Monster Gate, you can use its own effect to set it from the graveyard, so it's like a free +1 in that regard. So yeah, pretty cool. For Solemns, 3 strike, 3 judgment, probably two of the best generic traps in the game. And then the 1 skill drain. It does like kind of hurt you, right? Because then you can't use your Conquistador, your Hawkero. It does hurt you a little bit, but if you're going up against a combo deck, flipping skill drain is just like it hurts them so much because there's like nothing they can do at that point. Extra deck, 3 Gustav Max. So the only reason to play like multiples of any of these cards is basically just for Pot of Extravagance. But yeah, you just don't want to banish your Gustav Max. It's like it's probably the rank 10 I go into the most. But we've also got Super Dora and Gangeradai, which are great options. And then all of them can be ranked up into Libe, which is kind of just like your quick OTK card out of the extra deck. Next for rank 5s, we've got Constellar Pleiades. This is really nice. You could use it as like removal for any problematic card, or also as a disruption on your opponent's turn. 1 Adrius, so you really only use this card when you banish all of your Pleiades off of Pot of Extravagance, but it's still a nice option to have in the extra deck, just kind of being like a sort of nightmare type card for the deck. And then 1 Shark Fortress. This is kind of a funny card. Basically, it just allows something to attack twice, so it's like, whatever, it's kind of interesting as a rank 5 option. So yeah, no links, pretty weird to see, but I feel like you place such a little amount of monsters that it's not really worth it, right? Like the only linked monster that I was kind of considering for the deck would have been Nightmare Phoenix, but I feel like, I don't know, say you have like 2 of your level 5 trap monsters on the board, okay, you could just go into like Pleiades or Andreas, right? And that basically does like Nightmare Phoenix's job even better than Nightmare Phoenix does. If you have 2 Eldlich, you could just go into Sky Palace Gangeradai. That also destroys cards. You know, so you have your Xyz monsters that are kind of like better versions of the Nightmares. They're just like more specific to like this deck. So yeah, that's basically why I'm only playing Xyz monsters. Whatever, it's just also kind of like a novelty type thing. But yeah, this deck is really fun, even if it's not like the most optimal build of Eldlich. Yeah, definitely recommend giving it a try. And yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.